You're sitting on your couch. It's late. The TV is on, but you stopped paying attention 20 minutes ago. And then you feel it. That weight settling onto your lap. Your cat curls into position, starts purring, and you reach down without thinking. Your hand moves across fur. Your breathing slows. Something in your chest unclenches. You think this is affection. You think this is companionship. You think you own this animal. You don't. What just happened is the result of 10,000 years of evolutionary manipulation, and you never saw it coming. Let's go back, way back. About 10,000 years ago, humans in the Fertile Crescent figured out farming. They grew grain, they stored grain, and that grain attracted mice. Lots of mice. Suddenly, these early human settlements were running the world's first all-you-can-eat buffet for rodents. But mice attract something else. Predators. Small wildcats from the surrounding region noticed these mouse explosions around human settlements, and they made a calculation. Not a conscious one. Evolution doesn't work that way. But the cats that were slightly less afraid of humans got closer to the grain stores, got closer to the mice, got fed more often, survived longer, had more kittens, and those kittens inherited that slightly reduced fear. Humans noticed the cats were killing their pests, so they tolerated them. Nobody signed a contract, nobody made a decision. It just happened. Cats wandered into human civilization and never left. But here's where it gets strange. Every other domesticated animal in human history was captured, controlled, bred by force. Dogs were wolves that humans grabbed and shaped over thousands of years into something useful. Cows, sheep, pigs, horses, all of them taken from the wild and bent to human purposes through selective breeding. Cats did the opposite. Cats are the only domesticated animal that essentially domesticated themselves. They chose us. They looked at human civilization and saw an opportunity. Free food, warmth, protection, and all they had to do was tolerate our presence and catch a few mice. That's not a pet. That's a business arrangement, and it gets weirder. Take a DNA sample from your cat right now. Compare it to a Middle Eastern wildcat from 10,000 years ago. They're almost identical. Genetically speaking, domestication barely touched them. Dogs changed dramatically. Their skulls reshaped. Their behavior transformed. Wolves became golden retrievers. But cats? Cats changed just enough to tolerate humans while keeping everything else wild. Your cat is not a domesticated animal in the way you think. Your cat is a wild animal that learned to live alongside you. It kept its hunting instincts, its independence, its ability to survive without you. It just turned down the aggression enough to coexist. Here's the part nobody talks about. That meow your cat does, the one that makes you get up at 3 in the morning to fill a food bowl you filled 6 hours ago, that sound didn't exist 10,000 years ago. Adult cats don't meow at each other. In the wild, meowing is something kittens do to get their mother's attention. Once cats grow up, they stop. They communicate with other cats through body language, scent marking, hissing, growling. But meowing? That's reserved for one species only, you. Cats evolved a vocalization used exclusively for manipulating humans, and not just any vocalization. Researchers analyzed the frequency of cat meows and found something disturbing. That sound is tuned to the same frequency range as a crying human baby. This is not a coincidence. Over thousands of years, evolution selected for cats that could trigger human caregiving instincts. Cats that meowed at the right pitch got more food, more shelter, more attention. They survived longer, had more kittens, and passed on that acoustic manipulation to the next generation. Your brain hears your cat meow and responds the same way it responds to an infant in distress. You can't help it. It's hardwired. You are being emotionally hacked by a sound that was engineered over 10,000 years specifically to exploit your neurology. And here's where it gets truly unsettling. Look at a map of cat distribution 10,000 years ago. There's one small population of wildcats in the Middle East. That's it. One group, one region. Now look at today. 600 million domestic cats. Every continent except Antarctica. Every country, every climate. From Norwegian fishing villages to Australian outback farms to apartments in Tokyo. How did one small wildcat population achieve total global domination in 10,000 years? They used us. Cats followed human trade routes like passengers on a free ride. Every ship that left port carried cats for pest control. Every merchant vessel, every naval fleet, cats sailed the Mediterranean, crossed the Atlantic, rounded the Cape of Good Hope. They went everywhere humans went because humans took them everywhere. We didn't spread cats across the world. Cats spread themselves across the world using humans as transportation infrastructure. We were the vehicle, they were the passengers with a destination in mind. 600 million cats, one original population, 10,000 years. That's not domestication, that's colonization. Now let's talk about what this means for you specifically, for the relationship you think you have with the animal currently sitting in your home. You believe you chose your cat. Maybe you went to a shelter, maybe you picked it out from a litter, maybe it showed up at your door one day and you decided to keep it. But here's the thing, your cat chose you too, and your cat's choice was based on very different criteria than yours. You chose companionship, maybe cuteness, maybe you were lonely. Your cat chose a reliable food source, climate-controlled shelter, a primate that responds to acoustic manipulation. Your cat evaluated you the way a colonizer evaluates territory, resources, safety, accessibility, and you passed the assessment. But here's the existential gut punch. The moment you stop being useful, your cat could walk out that door and survive. It still has every instinct it needs. It can hunt, it can find shelter, it can regulate its own temperature and navigate by starlight and kill prey with a precision that would make your ancestors jealous. Feral cats do it every single day. Your cat is one missed meal away from being a feral cat. Can you say the same? Strip away the grocery stores and the power grid and the supply chains built by millions of other humans. Strip away the infrastructure that keeps you alive. Could you survive? You are a creature of dependency. You need systems. You need other people. You need civilization functioning at every level just to eat breakfast. Your cat needs none of that. Your cat tolerates civilization because it's convenient, not because it's necessary. So who's the dependent one in your home? Who's the creature that can't survive without support? Who's the one that would die without the other? It's you. You are not your cat's owner. You are not even your cat's companion. You are your cat's habitat. You are the environment it selected for optimal survival. The food dispenser, the warmth provider, the large primate that opens doors and responds to carefully tuned acoustic signals. You are infrastructure. Look down at your lap again. Feel that weight, that warmth. Hear that purr. You thought this was affection. You thought this was a pet choosing to spend time with its owner. You thought you were the one in control of this relationship. But now you see it differently. That animal on your lap is the descendant of wildcats that looked at human civilization 10,000 years ago and saw an opportunity. It carries genes almost unchanged from those first opportunists. It makes sounds specifically designed to hijack your parenting instincts. Its ancestors used your ancestors to colonize the entire planet. And right now, in this moment, it has you exactly where it wants you. Sitting still, generating warmth, providing comfort, not going anywhere. You are being a very good habitat. And somewhere in that ancient brain, behind those half-closed eyes, 10,000 years of successful strategy is purring. Here's the thing that keeps me up at night. We tell ourselves stories about dominion, about how humans conquered nature, tamed the wild, bent other species to our will. But cats tell a different story. A story where one small population of wildcats looked at the most successful invasive species on the planet and thought, we can use that. And they did. 600 million of them, everywhere we went, unchanged by the process. Maybe domestication isn't always about who holds the leash. Maybe sometimes it's about who figured out they don't need one. If this is the kind of thing your brain does at 2 in the morning, you're in the right place. Subscribe. There's more where this came from.